Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Grappler Fall Classic preview videos. We're moving on to 135 pounds, which is a heck of a weight class. I'm Tony Greathouse from MichiganGrappler.com, and with me, I've got the two smartest guys in wrestling in the country, and that's Associated Wrestling Press high school analyst Steve Wadzinski, Associated Wrestling Press college analyst JJ Johnson. These are the guys that are pumping out all that content, the great content that you see on the Associated Wrestling Press, as well as MichiganGrappler.com and some of our other AWP state sites like Indiana Wrestling News, Ohio Wrestling News, Pennsylvania Wrestling News, the whole shebang. What we're doing now is we're going through the 135-pound weight class for this weekend's Grappler Fall Classic. It's going down Saturday, October 18th, Kellogg Arena in Battle Creek, Michigan. In the 135-pound weight class, honestly, guys, this is my second favorite weight, I think. Or the weight that I'm second most looking forward to watch behind 119. We got top seed Carter Happel, who's a two-time Iowa State champ, coming all the way from the Hawkeye State, and along with him is Brandon James from Indiana, who is a stud out of Indiana, just committed to Old Dominion University. So what we're going to do is Steve's going to quickly run down, give us a breakdown of all the seeds, and then after that, these guys are going to go back and forth. We're going to give a little bit of analysis. So Steve, what do you have with our seeded guys at 135 pounds?
Top two seeds, both guys ranked top 20 in the country. Carter Happel, number 7. Brandon James, number 13. Talked about them already. Number 3, we got returning GFC champ Josh Heil from Ohio. We got Grant Turnmeyer, Division III Michigan State champion from Almont at number 4. Got Ethan Owen, Florida State runner-up at the 5. Dallas Basiak, two-time West Virginia State runner-up at the 6. Noah Hanu, state placer for Michigan at the 7. 2 times Michigan State placer Zach Blevins at the 8. I'll run it down a little more. We got 4 more state placers. R.C. Consuegra from Florida. Sage Castillo from Heartland, Michigan. Nathan Atienza from Livonia Franklin, Michigan. Kenny Reinhardt from Dundee, Michigan. And then rounding out the last 4 spots are Alec McKenna from Illinois, Chase Veet from Parma, Western Michigan, Antonio Ochoa from Illinois, and Lucas McFarland from St. John's, Michigan. Looking at kind of the top unseeded guys, we got Gabriel Flood, a D4 state placer who's at Whitehall High School now. We got Colin Vargo, D1 state qualifier, Adam Wiscombe, D1 state qualifier, Nick Robertson, D1 state qualifier, Jacob Shoup, tough kid, had success in the GFC in the past in the middle school division. So once again, we're looking at 20, 25 really tough guys at least.
So par for the course, really, when it comes to GFC, 105 through probably 160, 171, even 189, deep weight class.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to have awesome matches, definitely from the quarters on, but even the round of 16 on. JJ, I'm going to turn to you. Who do you see as, guys to really watch, guys that you're excited to see, and matchups to look out for?
So the top 3 guys have Happel, James, and Josh Heil. I think that's why they're seated the top 3, but I do think they're a step above. I think Josh Heil is just in the mix, just as much as Happel and James. So I'm excited to watch him if he does match up with Brandon James. I think that'll be a good match. And then Noah Hanow, really tough kid, looked really tough last weekend. Had a good match with Tommy Cash, and he's been in the mix for a little bit. So I'm not as familiar with Basiak, the 6th seed, but he's a 2-time West Virginia runner-up.
West Virginia in the house.
So he's got to be tough. That's where I'm at.
Steve, what about you? What do you see, top guys to look out for, and kind of how you see this bracket unfolding?
I like Nathan Atienza a lot at number 11. Athletic kid, a lot of upside from Franklin, just a sophomore. Chase Veet's another kid that's shown some pretty impressive flashes at the 14 seed. And maybe a little high on the chart, I like Ethan Owen, the 5 seed from Florida. I've watched him wrestle before. He's pretty impressive.
All right, guys. What do you see dark horse kind of picks, guys that are in the lower end, and we see it every year, guys that come into this tournament, lower seeds, that just kind of shock the world and come out with big wins and really put themselves on the map on the national stage. Who do you see? I think we've all agreed that the top 3 are kind of in a league of their own coming in, but that doesn't necessarily mean they got to wrestle the matches. Who do you see as some lower seeded guys to really look out for that are capable of putting a big win out there? Steve, we're going to start with you. Who you got?
I already threw Nathan Atienza out there. If the seeds hold, he would see Basiak, the 2-time West Virginia State runner-up, in the round of 16. That could be an interesting matchup. At number 13, Alec McKenna from Illinois had a really good season last year, and he's somebody who to watch out for as well.
JJ.
So I got a bracket buster at 8. Zach Blevins, really dangerous, really good hips. So he could pull some upsets through there. And then at 16, Lucas McFarland, really tough kid out of St. John's, so he could make some noise. And then an unseeded John Caldwell out of Bloomfield Hills, really athletic, really dynamic kid. He came up to our camp this summer and he looked awesome.
Yeah, made a run to almost place at Flows last year, I believe.
Yeah, he didn't make weight at districts or regionals last year, so that's why he might not be as well known.
I think obviously Carter Happel on paper, his resume, he probably speaks for himself as the top guy in this weight. Made the field cadet world team last year. But the two guys, the 2 and 3, James and Heil, I think you guys have already talked about this, but they are no slouches. I mean, those guys are studs. Brandon James is the #1 ranked guy in the state right now in Indiana, IndianaWrestlingNews.com. He's placed at Flows. He's a state runner-up, and I think he was a match away from placing in Fargo last year.
Yeah.
He's going to Old Dominion. The kid's a stud. And Josh Heil won this tournament last year, a tough tournament. I think he beat Eli Stickley from Ohio in the finals.
Yep.
Is that right? Eli Stickley's ranked 7th in the country by
He
the
beat
association.
Eli Stickley in the semis and Dresden Simon in the finals.
Eli Stickley ranked 7th in the country right now. He beat him last year in this tournament, and then he beat Dresden Simon, who is a stud with a lot of good wins too. So those two guys are two guys to really watch out for. But with them and everyone in play, at the end of the day, who do you have making the finals and winning it? JJ.
I have Brandon James over Carter Happel in the finals.
Steve?
Same pick. I like Heil. I really, really like James, though. I think he's going to win that semi. Not handily, but I think he's going to take care of business, control the match, and I think he's going to pull maybe a somewhat of an upset in the finals. I would have considered a huge upset, but I like Brandon James.
I'm going to agree to disagree. I'm going with Carter Happel. I watched a couple of his matches on film, and I think the kid is he's lights out. I think he's going to come out and put on a show. He's going to get some. He's going to take home that GFC hardware back to Iowa. He'll be our first Iowa GFC champ since Jack Hathaway, Iowa City West, won it a couple years ago, beating Kenny Bate in the finals.
Oregon State now, right?
Yep, Oregon State wrestler beat Kenny Bate in the finals back when it was held in Tecumseh. So we're glad to have the Hawkeye State back in attendance, and I think he's going to put him back on the map with another GFC title. So that's 135 pounds, everything you need to know. Now all you need to do is stay tuned. If you're nearby, make sure you get your butt to Battle Creek on October 18th to see this weight class and all the other weight classes. Throw down and get some. You can follow it. Pre-seeds are out on MichiganGrappler.com, GrapplerFallClassic.com, and we're going to have more previews and analysis and everything coming up this week. And you can follow the results live and watch the matches. We're going to be filming like crazy. Everything from the quarterfinals on will be filmed and put up on MichiganGrappler.com for your viewing pleasure. See you guys Saturday at the Grappler Fall Classic when everyone's going to be there to get some.